Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. This is my video response for this week's topic with regard to our organization and scheduling around our employees' needs and the organization's interests. Jumping right into it, we are obviously assuming that the organization allows me, the manager, to let the employees choose their flexible work arrangement benefit. I would try to accommodate everybody's request to the best of my ability. None of them seemed too unreasonable right off the bat. I wasn't 100% sold on allowing Jeff to leave early on Fridays, but after thinking it through a little bit and going through the supplemental reading, I understand that as far as Jeff is concerned, I might be less inclined to give him Friday afternoons off. However, as the reading pointed out, work schedules and benefits have to correspond to an employee's age and stage of life. And assuming that he is a good employee and he gives me advance notice of the days that he has to leave early, I can always work around that with the other employees. Going right into it, I would accommodate Steve, no problem with the new baby. I would also accommodate Carol. I know it can be difficult caring for an aging parent. Lisa, I understand her commitment to family. She wants to drop down to 20 hours. That's fine. I also have the wild card, which is the temp that I can throw in there. She's hungry. She wants to work full time. Jeff, again, I would accommodate. However, I would require some advance notice of these gigs. And since Carlos is my team workaholic and is good with the computer, I would absolutely utilize him and allow him to telecommute. He would also be good to cover those gaps in the afternoons when Steve has to leave early or Carol can't come in on Fridays. Moving forward as an organization's manager, however, this situation brings to mind, were these issues present when these people were hired? And moving forward, if I go to hire someone else, for example, I'm going to move the temp to full time. I need to sit down with her and find out what her family life is like and what type of work arrangement she might need in the future so I can plan for them. Also, the supplemental reading points out that organizations do not exist in a vacuum. What's the economy like? These benefits are great to attract and retain workers, but at the same time, if the economy goes down, I may not be able to afford to give my employees as much flexibility as I am right now, and I would need to let them know that. I'm happy to work with them. They're good employees, but at the same time, I have to balance what's good for the employee and what's good for the organization. Also, if I'm going to give these arrangements, I would sit down with each employee and outline performance objectives. The whole idea of the work-life balance is to increase productivity, to take away that stress so that the employee gets more done. So I would sit down with each and go, okay, I'm happy to accommodate this particular thing, but let's be clear, these are the performance objectives that I need you to hit, regardless of the hours that you work. According to the supplemental reading, pro-employee policies need to be flexible, fashionable, aka per the latest trend, and also fickle in the sense of being adjustable based on how the economy is doing. I've completed my own chart. I'm going to attach it to the video as a document, but here it is. It's a little bit hard for you guys to see. Basically, I would work with everybody. I've also included my rationale for the accommodation and the rationale for the hours scheduled. Feel free to comment on both. But, when I was completing this chart, I had to ask myself a couple key questions. First is, have I adequately addressed the organization's interests? More important question, however, could be, and more enlightened question could be, have I addressed the organization's interests sufficiently by responding and adapting to my employees' needs? These people are our greatest cost, and they're also our best resource. Do I want to sacrifice a good employee because I'm being too inflexible? Again, the goal of allowing and scheduling the accommodations is to increase productivity levels. So if productivity is going fine, I have no problem accommodating. The other thing is the organization was lacking in the scenario, but the organization could also identify the busier times of the year or the month. For example, does this organization get a lot of calls after trim notices go out from concerns from taxpayers? Or does this organization get inundated with questions after a new infrastructure project is suggested by the city? And if I can plan for and chart, I can also schedule for those busier times of the year, so I don't have gaps. And in order to staff according to the organization's needs, we have to figure out what its needs are. It's great. We need to accommodate the walk-ins. We have to accommodate answering the phones. But do we have a website? People can also email their concerns. What the role of Skype can play in that, YouTube videos, brochures left at the front door. All of these things combined can help us still deliver the service that we intend to deliver and to the measure in which we need to deliver it to. But at the same time, we can also help our employees and keep them there and retain that institutional knowledge. Anyway, happy Friday. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Again, I'm attaching this chart. I'm not going to go point by point. Feel free to comment. Hope everybody's well.